Cinderella's left the ball and she's dropped her shoe. We're talking the glass slipper method today, and I think it is totally appropriate seeing as how tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And, you know, there might be some ladies that are waiting for their prince to make his move. And you might be wondering, well, what if he doesn't come in? Well, then, darling, he just misses you. That's what happens. You see, the thing about the glass slipper method that I really love is that when you have expressed yourself fully, when you have showcased your value, when you have put your magic out into the world, you just detach from the outcome. So, you know, I've been playing around with this now for a few weeks because, you know, doors have been opened. I've noticed. Not completely open. I mean, there's still a little bit more that needs to be done, because a door can open, but the prince has to walk through and bring the slipper with him. You can't just sit there and see that the door is open and then walk right back in and do the same pattern. Sometimes you want them to be the hero. And you know, how many times do we hear the expression, if he wanted to, he would? Right, ladies? Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, beautiful, gorgeous, and powerful goddess, if you are watching this, and you are currently waiting for your true love, then listen up. Because I have got... There's just been so much that has happened since I met my true love. And I mean, you can go back and you can watch some of my videos on the glass slipper method, or better yet, go to Carly Bonderud Uncensored. They're all there. You just go into the link in my bio that's a YouTube channel, Adventures in Love and like romance, and just go through it. Go check it out. Because, you know, I came to the conclusion that we are highly valuable. We deserve to be chased. We deserve for our prince to step up for us. And if they're not stepping up, ask yourself if you've done all the work. If you've done all of the work, then it's his turn. Simple as that. It's his turn. And if he won't do the work, well, he misses you. I mean, ask yourself this. Do you want just a prince to come in? Or do you want the prince to come in? Because, you know, sometimes the prince could be working at fixing up his kingdom. Maybe something happened and he needed to take a detour. Maybe there's a dragon he has to fight. Or maybe he's got a surprise that he's just getting the last final pieces. And you know, if you come in and you rush him, well, then you're never going to know what that surprise was. You're never going to know what it would have been like if he'd come after you. And you know, I've noticed this because I've been asking this question for a while, ever since I noticed that 2 doors had been opened. Not the main doors, but still 2 doors were opened that had been closed to me for a very long time. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, yeah. And I could theoretically go through that door. And at the same time, he knows. He has to know by now that the glass slipper only fits my foot, and that I've left it for him and no one else. And ever since I left that glass slipper, I have not left another slipper for anyone else, because he is the one I want. And, you know, what I need. Oh, yes, indeed. I mean, it's that. It's you're the one that I want, Greece. And I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, you know, I could I could send something, but then I'll never get what I really deserve, which is for him to come in and just be like, okay, I'm ready. Put your foot in the slipper, Cinderella, like that sort of thing. And who knows, maybe I will get a surprise on Valentine's Day, or maybe he just misses out. But you deserve it. You deserve to be chased. You deserve to have the most extraordinary man, or if you're not into men, if it's a woman, okay, well, still, you deserve your person. You deserve the person who is like basically made for you. And they do exist. They are out there. You don't have to settle. You don't have to do all of the work. You are a goddess. So let them pursue you. Let them work through whatever it is they need to work through so that they'll step up for you. If they're the one, they will do it. First of all, you're probably living rent-free in their head. They're probably thinking about you a hell of a lot more than you think that they're thinking about you. And that's where the glass slipper is so powerful. It's why I've even incorporated it into my marketing. Because it comes down to this, being so good that you're impossible to ignore. Being so good that you live rent-free in their head. That you are constantly top of mind. And you can accomplish this through songs, quotes, colors, phrases, memories, even something as simple as, well, taking something that it means the world to them, and custom crafting your own journey to speak to that thing, because it's important to you too. And the power of the glass slipper is that once you leave it, you don't have to chase again. You don't need to go back to the ball. You don't need to do anything except rescue yourself from the wicked stepmothers and stepsisters of the world and build your own little kingdom, knowing that your prince will come in when he is ready. And only when he is ready is that relationship going to be everything that you want. If he's not ready and he comes in, think about how unaligned that is. It's the same thing if you're trying to get a client. They might be the absolute perfect client, but is it the right timing? No. So, the glass slipper method is how I basically am able to sleep at night. Sort of. Last night I kept waking up. I kept hearing songs in my head. Didn't help that I had a playlist on, but even still, I was dreaming, and sometimes I just wake up. And, there's other things that have been showing up that have me reminded of my prince. But the difference, dear goddesses, or dear goddess watching, is that if you left your glass slipper, your prince already knows. Whereas when you're getting reminders of your prince and you're seeing all those wonderful things, you can just love it. You can just be like, "Aw, yeah, that reminds me of him. Oh, he's so awesome. I can't wait for the day that he comes in. Like, he's off fighting dragons right now. He's off building the kingdom. And as soon as he's ready, he's going to come in and it's going to be fantastic. And in the meantime, I'm going to create and I'm going to enjoy things and I'm just going to love my life. And when I get those reminders, I'm not going to be sad about it, maybe for a second, but then I'm going to just think of all the love I have for him and I'm going to send that love to him." I went one step further. I went and I added an Instagram account. Well, I already had it for something else. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send the messages to myself. I'm going to send them in my own inbox And I'm going to just have those. And I save things for him because I know that when he comes in, I can give it all to him. But it's like a long distance relationship. You just sit there and you're like, okay, I'm just going to save it all. And maybe there's some pieces that won't be relevant anymore, and there'll be other ones that you can look back and you can just be like, here's all the stuff I saved. See, no love was lost. Actually, the love grew. The slipper still fits. That's the beauty of a perfectly crafted glass slipper. You can go back and you can look at your own messages to your prince. You can be like, oh yeah, he knows. He knows exactly what's waiting for him. And I've become even more magnificent since the last time that I dropped that slipper. So that slipper is even more powerful. And what I gave him was pretty damn good. Again, the glass slipper method is like the most ingenious piece of marketing I've ever crafted. And the beauty of it is that he actually taught me a lot of the things that I needed to do in another area. And I just took that and I used it. So, yeah. Anyway, at some point I'm going to be teaching the glass slipper method in a more concrete way. And if you want access to that before I set up my next channel, because information is free and people only pay for access to me, the onus is on you to reach out and ask me about it. Because this glass slipper, I know that it's only a matter of time. Maybe even I could get a message today. He could be like, okay, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. What are your plans? And I'd be like, well, my plans were very similar to what I could include you in. I was just going to stay at home and enjoy some good food and enjoy a yummy dessert and stay in my bed and relax and be comfortable. But, you're free to join me. See, that's the beauty of it again, is like no matter what happens, no matter if your prince is able to show up or not, you still enjoy your life. You're not pining for him. You're not waiting for him. You're just doing your thing. And it's almost like he's with you the whole time. In fact, if you breathe in and close your eyes, you might even be able to feel that love shining through you. Try it. Try it, especially if you've gotten to a point where you kind of feel that. And if you know, right? Exactly. I don't need to tell you, but if you're thinking you're crazy, you're not. Yeah. True love is like this transcendent power that goes beyond anything that you ever thought possible. And sometimes if you're walking around in the mall and you suddenly hear, love is all around you, so come on, let it show. Yeah. But Valentine's Day is tomorrow. I don't know what's coming. I do know one thing, though, and that is that wherever my prince is, he's got his glass slipper, and he can bring it to me anytime. Anytime he's ready. And you can do the same, beautiful goddess. You can craft your own glass slipper. You know what really, what it requires of you to be able to craft the perfect glass slipper? You ask yourself this one question. Can you love this prince better than anyone else? Do you know him on a soul level that, you know him so powerfully Even if you've never even touched his skin, if you know how to touch his soul, and he knows how to touch your soul, and touch your heart, and you have that intellectual chemistry as well, you know what makes him tick. You might even test to see at the beginning what makes him tick. But the more things you gather, the more data you have, the more you can custom craft your shoe for your prince. And then you just drop that and turn up the heat until that slipper is like, I have given you the most perfect love. Like, you know that song by Creed, My Sacrifice? Within my heart are memories of perfect love that you gave to me. That. Give him perfect love. Give him the most perfect love. And fire. And everything that is like the essence of who you are. Drop it. Know that you've given it to him. And then let go. He'll chase you. You might even feel it before he actually comes in. All right. So, now that you know what to do, now that you've dropped your shoe, or maybe you haven't dropped your shoe yet, maybe you're still debating, maybe you're still chasing, trying to get him to commit, I'm going to invite you again. Try the glass slipper instead. Approach this differently than you've been doing. I know it could be really scary. I mean, way back in 2023, in the summertime, when I was debating this, because we were just going in circles, I'm like, I don't know how else to move this forward. He might have to miss me. Well, that's actually when things shifted. You can't keep doing the same pattern if it's not working. Sometimes, you see, with your true love, it's just different. It's different from whatever anybody else is telling you. You know in your heart what to do. So, go drop your glass slipper, or go craft your glass slipper, or go gather data so that you know what you need to do when it's time to leave that glass slipper, to create it for him. And when he's ready, he'll come in. But you don't have to settle. You don't need to settle for anything. After all, I'm pretty sure we've gotten to the point where we're tired of settling, aren't we? We're tired of taking crumbs, taking scraps. The glass slipper allows you to break out of that box, you know. I have lots of things that allow you to break out of a box. And then once you've broken free, you can't get put back in that box, because I have things for that too.